Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about body dysmorphia and healing your body so that you can feel comfortable in your body this summer. Before we get started on how to heal from body dysmorphia, I want to explain what body dysmorphia actually means. Those who suffer from body dysmorphia will find that they can never think of anything positive when they look at themselves in the mirror. All they will see is flaws, and they'll have like this chain of thoughts where they'll say one thing about themselves, which will then lead to another thing, which will then lead to another thing, and then that chain will just carry on until that person can't seem to think of anything but that insecurity that sprouted in their mind. This could be things like, I feel too fat, or I feel too skinny, or I don't look good in this dress, my boobs are too small, my boobs are too big and they're saggy, my nose isn't nice, my nose is too big, I don't look good in that picture. And then, like, for example, somebody takes a picture of you and all you can do is just sit there and pull and pick at every single aspect of yourself. And when you have body dysmorphia, you actually think about these things constantly, and it begins to actually take control of you and become you. So instead of you being yourself, you actually become your body dysmorphia. I find that, at least when I had my body dysmorphia, and I'm not going to say that I don't have it to this day, I'm still recovering, and so I'm not a master of recovering from body dysmorphia, but I still feel that after all these years of me having it, I can share with all of you some tips that I think will help for you to be able to actually understand your body dysmorphia, because you can't heal from something unless you actually understand why it is there. This then leads on to my first tip that I have when recovering from body dysmorphia, which is coming to terms with your insecurities. So as I said earlier, you can't heal from something unless you know why you have that problem. So for example, I've always had an insecurity that my nose is too big, and because of this I never used to wear my hair up when I was at school. I never used to have my hair out of my face, so when I was sitting down at a desk I would always have my hair in front of my face like a curtain. I'd be so scared that whoever was actually sitting next to me would look at me and think, oh my god, she's so ugly, her side profile is so bad. And it just literally took up most of my upper school years, because all I could think about was how I looked when I was at school and what others next to me could see. It just took up all the space in my mind and made me feel so insecure to be at school and actually learn. Sometimes we would say all these really horrible negative things about ourselves, but we won't ever actually think into why are we saying these things? Why, when I was younger, did I keep telling myself that my nose wasn't good enough? Where did this come from? And when I actually looked into it, I realised that the reason why I was so insecure about my nose is because it wasn't like everybody else's. It wasn't small, I didn't think it was cute. I'd always wanted a button nose, and I used to look in the mirror and imagine what my nose would look like if I'd had a nose job. I was obsessed with the idea of having a smaller nose because the standards of women at the time, and even now, were for them to have a nice small nose, and because of that it made me have an insecurity about my nose. Standards always change, and what will be seen as perfect today will not be seen as perfect in 10 years to come. So my nose is not like everybody else's, but why would I want my nose to be like everybody else's? There's nothing wrong with my nose, just as there's nothing wrong with everybody else's nose. I'm unique in my own way, tend to treat others in a way that we don't treat ourselves. So we treat others with kindness and respect, or especially people that are close to you, but you won't treat yourself in that way. You won't tell yourself the things that you tell your friends. And what I recommend is journaling. And the reason why I recommend journaling, and I know that you've heard this from so many people here on YouTube, you must journal, you need to journal, journaling is really good. And trust me, I know that it can be difficult, because when I first started journaling, I found it really difficult to stay on top of it. And I decided that instead of journaling everything that I do in my day, or journaling everything that goes on in my mind, I actually tried shadow work. And if you don't know what shadow work is, it's basically healing your inner child, healing your shadow. When I actually looked into why I had body dysmorphia and looked into every single insecurity that I have, it managed to help me to understand the things that I need to do to then heal. You give at least 5 to 10 minutes a day to just sit down and answer some shadow work questions, which you can find on Pinterest. Just type in shadow work questions, and if, for example, you have an issue with body dysmorphia, you could type in Pinterest shadow work questions for body dysmorphia, and it will come up with loads of questions which you can then sit down and just answer maybe 1 to 3. I usually would answer about 3 within 5 to 10 minutes. Hopefully you will start to understand why you feel the way that you do. It can actually have a huge impact on the way that you feel about yourself, because then you can actually see, okay, that's why I feel this way about my nose, and then fix it, fix the issue. And now, when I look at myself in the mirror, I try to remind myself that I'm unique, and that's a good thing. Just because I'm unique or different or have a nose that not a lot of people around me have, it doesn't make me any less beautiful than them. In fact, it makes me beautiful in my own way. So the second tip that I have when recovering from body dysmorphia is erasing the negative thoughts that sprout in your mind. So the minute that you have a negative thought about yourself, so let's say that you've gone out on a date with someone, or you've just gone out and suddenly you see this pretty girl walk past you and you think, oh my god, she's so gorgeous, I love her hair, I wish I had hair like that, I wish that my face looked as beautiful as hers, I wish that my body was as nice as hers, I wish that I looked as good in clothes as she does. And you just, like, you see this one person and then suddenly all of these things are just sprouting in your head and you can't get it to go away. That is when you need to tell yourself, stop, take a minute, breathe, and tell yourself, no, it's not true, no. I would find times where I would just let this insecurity take over and this chain would end up sprouting, and then suddenly one negative thought would lead to the next, the next, the next, and then I would just feel so horrible for the rest of the day. I wouldn't be able to focus on my work or the things that I needed to do. I wouldn't be able to focus on my friends or the people that I were with, and it would end up just ruining the entire day for me. So now, when a negative thought sprouts in my head, I will tell myself, why am I thinking that way? Why do I think that she's better than me because of so-and-so? Just because she's beautiful, it doesn't mean that I'm not beautiful as well. Your thoughts and feelings become your reality. So if you're consistently letting these negative thoughts come into your mind and come into your body, you are letting those thoughts become you. So the minute that you say no and you have a barrier and you push those negative thoughts away from you, that is the minute that you actually feel good about yourself, that you feel positive energy flowing around you. It will actually impact the way that others think about you, because if you're consistently saying, oh my god, my hair looks like a mess, or I look so disgusting today, or this and that and that, or consistently saying to your friend or your partner or just anybody in your life all of these negative thoughts that you're thinking, you're going to make it so that they start thinking the same things, because it's all that you are going on about. So you need to watch out and monitor the things that you're thinking, because they actually create your reality. The third tip that I have actually links to the things that I was saying in the previous tip, which is treat yourself the way that you would treat a friend. If you have a friend coming to you and saying, oh my god, I feel really shit today, like I didn't do my hair, I didn't do my makeup, I feel so bad, look at all the spots on my face, this top doesn't look good on me, I can see my stomach. You wouldn't stand there and say, yeah, I actually agree with you, you do look shit and that dress looks so bad on you and you shouldn't walk out that door. You wouldn't pull them apart or tell them that they don't look good. You would tell them the opposite. You would say, no, that's not true. I think you actually look really good in that top. I think that colour suits you. I think that your hair looks really beautiful today. Don't worry about your spots, you still look great. And something that I've come to realise that is really important is that we've been with ourselves our entire life, and yet we don't treat ourselves with respect and kindness. You don't know anybody as much as you know yourself. Nobody knows you the way that you know yourself. Nobody knows your desires, your thoughts, your feelings. Nobody knows what comes in and out of your mind, only you do. And so why do we not treat ourselves the way that we treat the people that we love? We were there for ourselves, our lowest and our highest, and yet we still disrespect ourselves and look in the mirror and say, yeah, I look shit today and I shouldn't go out, or I should cancel plans with my friends because I know that I'm going to end up ruining it because I look really bad. Or I don't feel good, I don't want to go to the beach because I won't look good in this bikini. And yet if your friend comes to you and says, hey, I actually really hate this bikini on me and I don't feel comfortable going to the beach, you would hype them up and say, no, you look great. I think that bikini really looks good on you. If you would talk to your friends and tell them those things, why wouldn't you say those exact things to yourself? One thing that I really recommend when it comes to how to become a friend to yourself is just simply being positive about yourself. Treat yourself the way that you would a friend. Look in the mirror and instead of pulling yourself apart, say, oh my god, I love my hair today. I love the way that this dress looks on me. I feel so confident about myself. I feel so beautiful. I'm going to go out there and be the best version of myself. Just hype yourself up the way that you would a friend, and I promise you, the more that you will do this, the more that you will manifest these feelings within yourself, and it will become an everyday habit for you to think this way about yourself. Fourth tip, again, links to the third, and that is self-care rituals. I believe that taking care of yourself the way that you would take care of a friend is really important in order to help recover from body dysmorphia and heal your thoughts and feelings towards your body. If you get into an argument with a friend and you know that you're in the wrong and you want to fix this problem that you have, would you just push them inside and say, you know what, it's not important, I'll just deal with it another day? No, you would put time into actually fixing the problem and saying sorry to them and doing all that you can to get their forgiveness. And so why is it any different with ourselves? If you want to heal, you can't let these negative thoughts take you over, because then you are letting the negativity win, and that's not going to help you heal. You can't just think that it's going to go away without doing the work, because that's not true. Nothing gets done without putting the hard work in. You can't just speak to yourself the way that you would a friend. You need to also treat yourself the way that you would a friend. When I take care of myself, it is an act of appreciation, similar to when you buy a gift for a friend because it reminds you of them, or when you go out with a friend and pay for their dinner or pay for their cinema ticket, or when you tell a friend, wow, oh my god, you mean so much to me and I'm so thankful for you being here for me. Those acts of appreciations that you do for your friend are what helps them to feel good about themselves, and that's no different for yourselves. It is these acts of appreciation towards yourself, such as like taking care of your skin, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, getting things for yourself that you love, like flowers or watching your favorite movie or watching your favorite series. It's those things that actually help you feel appreciated. And when you feel appreciated, you will feel loved. And feeling loved leads to you healing and feeling better in your body and who you are as a person. One thing that I have found really helps is listening to podcasts or watching videos such as these constantly and just taking in the information and actually letting these things that I'm learning become me instead of the negative thoughts. So whenever I'm doing anything like getting ready for the day or cleaning my room or just something that I like to usually put something on in the background like music, I will put on a video or a podcast which helps me to understand the way that I feel and to heal my inner child and who I am as a person and to become the better version of myself. And these things that I'm learning in these videos and podcasts will actually flow through me, and I will be thinking about that for the rest of the day. And so every day when I'm learning all this new information, I'm actually manifesting this positive energy within me instead of allowing the negative beliefs that I have to control me and become me. Last tip that I have is patience. Healing from body dysmorphia is one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do, and I'm still healing every single day of my life. You need to understand that this is not a quick solution. It's not going to go away in 2 days. It might take months or even years, and that's okay. There will be times when you find that you have become triggered by something, or when the universe will test you to see how far that you have come, and you feel like saying to yourself, what was the point of all of this? I've put in all of this hard work and I haven't even healed. But that's not true. Just because you have been triggered by something or you've suddenly fallen back down, it doesn't mean that you can't get back up again. In fact, every single time that you do fall and then get back up, you have become stronger as a person and you have become wiser and more experienced with healing. If you find that you have been triggered by something, take this as a chance to be able to heal and become better, because then in the evening or whenever you next feel ready to do some shadow work, you can actually look into why you were triggered by that specific thing and what happened to allow that triggering thought to take over your mind so that you can then heal and become stronger. Don't give up on this journey and don't allow these negative beliefs to take control of who you are. Healing is possible, and as much as you might tell yourself that it's not and that you're always going to have this mindset, that's not true. You need to be your best friend. You need to hype yourself up and tell yourself that you will heal, that healing is possible for you, that everything will be okay. I think that there is always that bright light at the end of the tunnel that we hear people talking about, but you need to actually walk and experience life and experience this healing journey to be able to find it. So allow yourself the time that you need to be able to heal, and don't come at yourself or pull yourself down just because you've fallen or have been triggered by something. That's completely normal and is actually another doorway to be able to heal and progress as a person. I'm really proud of you for clicking on this video today and for starting your healing journey. It is possible and you will get to the end, whatever the end may be for you, whether that may be just being able to look in the mirror and not pull yourself apart, or feeling comfortable in a bikini on the beach, or just feeling comfortable who you are as a person. I want you to believe in yourself the way that I believe in you and know that you will get there. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you next time.